Alright, today, what could it other be than we are pulling shards today, because we have a 2x sacred event, and I actually went through the campaign on nightmare mode and completed it too to get myself another sacred shard. So I have 3 now, and that means that we're definitely going to pull another legendary. So my first one was Norgrad and Nordak. Kind of forget the name all the time, because unfortunately the champion is not really memorable and is only useful in faction wars, but I did all the preparation that we need. It was a full moon yesterday and I ran around the apartment naked 3 times while yelling, Plarium is amazing, Plarium is amazing, there is no RNG, and so we're definitely going to pull a legendary today. So without wasting any more time, by the way, if we don't pull a legendary, this one I would be totally on board with. Give me a couple good epics and I don't even need a legendary. As long as the epics are useful, I'm absolutely on board. So without further ado, let's jump in and see what we get today. Okay, moment of truth. So, I've actually been also prepping my ancient shards. And as I said in one of the previous videos, actually the biggest jump that my account made so far was because of ancient shards. So I'm very much looking forward to the next time 2 event on ancient shards as well. The chickens are awesome and the epics are great. Legendaries, hey, if you get them, nice bonus. So in this case we have our ×2 chance for legendary champions. Quick reminder for everybody that might watch this and hasn't watched all the other videos. Always save your shards with a new account, especially with a free to play account, until you have a ×2 event. Everything else, all the other events are bait. Don't pull. Only for those events. When you are in the late game, then it's a little bit different, but that's going to take you a long time. So at the beginning, make sure that you wait until there's a ×2 chance event and only then pull your shards. So we have, in this case, we have an extra chance to get good old Raphael over here. Honestly, if I get him, fantastic. I love the turtles, so I'm totally happy with that. I guess if I had to pick a legendary that I would like to get, if I can pull one from a normal legendary shard, honestly, Duchess. As I said many times on my main account, I pulled her early. She's an absolute game changer for any account. Let's see if we get a legendary in the first place, but as I said, I would be quite happy with a few nice epics. So let's go for the first one and see what we're getting. So, number 1. What's it gonna be? Well, we get an epic on the first one. Anchorite, I am actually not too unhappy with this. Anchorite is, generally speaking, pretty useful for an epic champ. So we got our aura in, a little bit of ally HP, not that we really need it. But we have a heal, crit rate and crit damage. That's a really nice damage boost when you use that on your main damage dealer, for example. And to be honest with you, I also don't have too many champions right now that are really good at healing. We have, in addition to that, debuff removal, which is also quite nice because I don't have too many of those currently either. And increasing ally buffs is actually quite nice. And as you can already tell, this only needs 2 books. Over here we have 1 book. So he is not book hungry at all. And then on the number 1, we even have an additional heal. So I'm actually very happy with that pull, I'm not gonna lie. For an epic, that might not be the best epic that you could possibly get, but to tell you the truth, he's gonna boost me very heavily in my faction wars for Sacred Order, and that is a pretty useful champion for me. A little bit more sustain, and I mean, honestly, the buff extension is amazing, and the debuff removal is also great. So that A2 alone is totally worth it for me. So for my account right now, that's a nice pull. So not the legendary, but that's still a very good pull, so I'm happy with the first one. So let's see what we're gonna get with number 2. And another epic. Okay, little bit split on this, because as you can see here from the ratings alone, fairly useless. We have on our A1, we have an ally revive, which, okay. Then we also get a little bit of an ally attack here, nothing too crazy either. Turn meter improvement and attack an enemy 2 times. So is this a champion that I'm going to do a whole lot with? No. But it's not a total loss. It's not going to end up as a chicken, because I actually do not, and this is kind of silly, but I do not have a single epic or legendary Shadowkin yet. Not even a decent rare. I actually think I pulled a rare yesterday that I would have to still build, but this is going to at least, you know, progress me a little bit in my faction wars team for Shadowkin. And to be honest, Having a revive is not too bad for Faction Wars. So I think I'm gonna get her to 50 in a reasonable time frame. 60, she's gonna have to wait a long time, but that's not a total loss for me. Definitely not on the same level as Anchorite when it comes to usefulness for my account, but this is something that at least to an extent we can work with. So not a fantastic pull, but it's not completely useless for me and will be built over others, even though, as you can tell, not really excelling at anything. Faction Wars is the only area where the champion is useful, but that's also the only area where I currently need her. So, not a total loss. Not that happy with her, though. Okay, final one. So this has to be the legendary, right? Like, I mean, that's the rule here. So I need to pull at least one legendary today, and this has to be it. So let's go. Last one. And it is... Okay, this is just sad. Yeah. Now this sucks. Because I already have her. Frostbringer. I mean, again, she gets an increased speed over here, increased attack buff. She's not bad. I mean, this is a really nice tool to have. Increased speed, increased attack. Then we have also the 3 times attack with the decreased defense. That's also quite nice. And on the level 1 we have a heal reduction. So she's not horrible or anything. You can see it from the ratings here. Some people use her in Fire Knight. My Fire Knight lineup is actually working extremely well. I don't think I talked in the video about it, but the Grave Wolf setup that I'm running, I actually manualed to stage 24, which worked extremely well. And now that I am in stage 24, because of the affinities, I swapped out Alice for Vorgoth, and that allows me to run the whole thing in auto. Now, it takes an eternity, don't get me wrong. This is one of those typical things, you know, where you set up your account before you go to bed, and then you just go and let it go for some auto battles, and when you wake up, then everything is done and dusted. But I think a run takes me between 7 and 10 minutes, so there's a lot of improvement to be done on that particular setup, but it's 100% clear rate on stage 24, which means the next Fire Knight tournament is fantastic for me. So it's not something where I need her. That's going to be a Faction Guardian for me. Fairly useless. I am not going to use as a chicken. It's going to be a Faction Guardian that boosts my Sacred Order lineup a little bit more, which is not horrible to begin with. But yeah, unfortunately, not really a whole lot going on here with her. So at the end of the day, I got a Faction Guardian. I got someone that progresses me a little bit in the Shadowkin faction, and on top of that I have an actual useful epic with Anchorite that I can use, will use, and might actually build next. That's how much I think he can help me. That buff extension is going to be great for me, especially when we're talking about Clan Boss and the debuff removal. I've been struggling in quite a few areas with not having a proper debuff removal. I have Reliquary Tender. She's nice, but she's also rare, so her stats are a bit low, and I'm not sure if I want to build her just yet, but she's the only other one that would help me in that area. But I think Anchorite is doing a little bit more for me, because that buff extension is going to be great with, let's say, a strengthened buff on my team and some other tools that I have. So overall, I think I'm okay. I would have loved a legendary. We didn't get one, but I think the epics that I got are fairly nice. That also means, of course, that I'm definitely due a legendary once that we're going into our ancient pulls, and I'm okay with that. So yeah, that's pretty much it for today. I'm going to report on Anchorite and how he fits into the entire team setup that I have once that I build him a little bit. I will also make an additional video on Grave Wolf once that he is better equipped and fully booked after the next CVC. But in case that you missed that specific video, you should catch up on it. Grave Wolf, the rare that is currently part of the fusion. You should get yourself one. Absolutely fantastic. The current arena tournament, by the way, is one where I'm going to get my last Grave Wolf that I need in order to also pull Hilda. And then I'm going to do a video on her once that I've built her a little bit, just to show you guys how she's actually working out, especially as a damage dealer, but also as part of the Dwarven faction, where I personally still need some assistance. So that's pretty much it. Again, thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions, let me know. And by the way, guys, let me know what you pulled. If you were lucky, it's always hurting a little bit. I'm going to be jealous, but let me know if you pulled a legendary, if you pulled some useful epics, or what's going on with your personal account. And I'm going to see you in the next video. Have a good one. Bye-bye.